A new directive from President Trump will require states to pick up part of the tab for the deployment of the National Guard to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. MTN's John Riley spoke with National Guard leadership about what that means for Montana.
FEMA has been covering 100% of the National Guard deployments responding to the pandemic, but that is slated to end August 21st following a new directive from President Trump. From there, states will need to make a 25% co-payment of total funds.
DoD will pay those funds for our soldiers and airmen that continue on duty. FEMA will reimburse DoD, but FEMA will bill the state of Montana for 25% of that cost.
So far, the Montana National Guard deployment in response to coronavirus has cost around $5.5 million. Guard personnel have screened travelers coming from out of state, assisted with testing and lab efforts, delivered PPE supplies across Montana, and constructed an alternate care facility that can be deployed anywhere in Montana. Depending on how long the pandemic continues, this change may end up costing Montana hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. The governor does have some options to address the additional costs. Traditionally, under state deployment, the money would come from the state's disaster fund. CARES Act money allocated to the state can also be used to cover the costs. According to General Matthew Quinn, the Guard had already been looking at reducing deployed personnel.
One of the larger and the longest that we have done. This has been a long mission that Guardsmen are still willing to do and still willing to respond on behalf of the citizens.
Quinn added Montana is still very much in the midst of a disaster. Cases are still high, and the state is losing Montanans to the virus regularly. Reporting from Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
Thanks, John. Two states that are exempt from the co-payment, Florida and Texas, both key states in the 2020 presidential election and are struggling to contain their coronavirus cases. Senators Steve Daines and Jon Tester weighed in on the issues. You can read their responses at ktvh.com.